This is our news, the weekend edition, and on the broadcast tonight. Attorneys for a Bahamian citizen attacked in Florida score a major victory in the case as the charges against his attacker have been upgraded. Plus, the National Security Minister says more police presence for Arawak Key. And find out plans on just how the new managers of the landfill intend on mitigating against fires.
Our news is brought to you by Alive.
Good evening, I'm Andrew Knowles, and thanks so much for joining us. Topping news, prosecutors in Florida have upgraded charges against Fawaz Hassan, the man who allegedly unprovokingly stabbed Harold Williams in the face while he was in South Florida to undergo medical treatment last month. Williams' attorneys revealing yesterday Hassan's charges have been elevated from second-degree to first-degree aggravated battery with a deadly weapon, which carries a maximum 30-year sentence. And whereas it's a major victory and a step towards justice for Williams, he said the attack has left him permanently scarred both physically and mentally.
The effect of the stab has really played on my mental psyche. At night when I go to bed, I still see the young man's face. I still see the knife.
The attack took place at Pines Market in Pembroke Pines when Williams stopped at the establishment and asked to use the restroom. After he was granted permission and proceeded to the back of the store, Fawaz Hassan, an employee, allegedly stabbed Williams in the face.
We don't know why this individual, without provocation, attacked Harold Williams, but we expect to get to the bottom of it once and for all.
Noted U.S. civil rights attorneys Benjamin Crump and Jasmine Rand, who represent Williams, have already secured a major victory in the case after successfully advocating for Hassan's initial charge of second-degree aggravated battery to be upgraded to a first-degree charge.
Our nation has to take responsibility and accountability because our nation fails to take accountability for what happens to Black and brown people on our soil. We're here with you today to stand for you, the Bahamian people, to stand for Mr. Williams, and to fight for his rights just as hard as we fought for the rights of people like Trayvon Martin and people like Michael Brown.
While it is unknown what prompted the assailant to attack Williams, there is speculation the incident may have been racially motivated.
That is something that we suspect may have motivated the incident, but until we have hard evidence that it was in fact motivated by race, we will not take the position that it was racially motivated. But should those facts arise, and believe me, we're investigating every day to see whether or not it was an act of racism and was racially motivated. If those facts should arise, then we will absolutely push for this to be charged as a hate crime, and we will pursue it as an act of racism in a civil capacity as well.
Since the incident, Pines Market, reportedly owned by Hassan's father, has closed its doors.
It is a huge victory that the prosecutors increased the charges in this matter to the severest penalty that they can to send a message. But I think it is more profound, the message that is sent by the community, that we're not going to support a business that condones racism. We're not going to do it.
Meantime, Williams says he remains hopeful he will get full justice, as he is confident his attorneys will continue to fight on his behalf. But he admits that he is now fearful of traveling to South Florida.
I've been traveling back and forth to South Florida for more than 30 years. And, for the first time, I have to be aware of where I go. So the fear is still there, yeah.
Well, it's no secret the U.S. government has issued several travel warnings about the Bahamas recently. However, following Williams' attack in Florida, Foreign Affairs Minister Darren Henfield said government would absolutely not issue a travel advisory on Florida. But Williams' attorney, Jasmine Rand, had this to say on the matter.
When the United States government is such a powerful government, issues travel warnings like that, it's not lost on us as civil rights attorneys that can severely impact other nations' economies. We believe that if the United States is going to continue to issue those type of travel warnings that can really impact the economies of other nations, that they have a responsibility and a duty to acknowledge the danger posed to Black and brown lives traveling to the United States.
Ryan says what happened to Williams happens to U.S. citizens of Black and brown complexion repeatedly. She says the U.S. needs to issue warnings to Black and brown people traveling to the U.S. that they can become the victims of racial violence.
So if we're going to issue travel warnings about people traveling, our citizens traveling to other nations, we need to issue those same warnings to foreign nationals that if you have Black or brown skin, you are in danger in our country. You're in danger of being shot in a church. You're in danger of being shot in a movie theater. You're in danger of being shot in a marathon. You're in danger of being stabbed in the face simply trying to use the bathroom.
From the crime beat tonight, police are investigating an alleged attempted suicide. Police have not released much detail surrounding the incident. However, we understand the alleged attempt involved a 53-year-old man and happened on Calpin Road, east of Spiken Yard Road, shortly before 10 yesterday morning. Investigations continue. Well, following the release of a video of a violent brawl that went viral on social media in recent days, National Security Minister Marvin Dame says police will beef up their presence at the tourist hotspot. Jasmine Brown has the details.
There was one incident. Okay, the commissioner would have been ramping up.
The increased police presence comes after a violent altercation between a man and a woman made the rounds on social media. The brawl reportedly occurred during an event on Arawak Key last weekend.
Now, you're not going to stop every fight, okay? You're not going to stop, especially on weekends. But they have been able to control a lot of the issues there. There was an issue that would have been reported to me by the commissioner a few days ago, a stabbing. All right, and that happened at, I believe, one of the stalls where a group of young men got into an argument and someone stabbed the other. It wasn't life-threatening. The police are on top of it.
It also follows numerous warnings by U.S. and cruise ship officials who just last year labeled that area a crime hotspot. Last December, Royal Caribbean warned its passengers that Arawak Key's Fish Fry was a concerning crime area. In a letter to Anthem of the Sea's passengers, the ship's captain wrote that the cruise line felt it was important to inform guests that Nassau had been experiencing an increase in crime, adding non-violent crimes such as theft of personal items are the most common types of crime. The Royal Caribbean letter mirrored concerns outlined in the U.S. State Department's January 2018 travel advisory on the Bahamas, which also urged American visitors to stay clear of the Fish Fry, a major hub where tourists can experience Bahamian culture and cuisine. In February, the U.S. State Department issued a similar warning. The warnings come as police report record low crime in 2018.
There are additional officers now in all of those areas. And he would have assigned a vehicle to Arawak Key as well as Portisky Dock.
Reporting for our news, I'm Jasmine Brown.
In other news this evening, government officially handed over the keys of the New Providence landfill to its new managers on Friday, who also inherit the legacy issues that's plagued the landfill. However, aside from its name change to the New Providence Ecology Park, Chairman Kenwood Kerr said the company's primary goal is to eradicate the occurrence of fires, a familiar nuisance to area residents.
Well, the main priority within the RFP, the requirements of the RFP, was to contain fires or to mitigate or reduce or alleviate fires completely. So we're using an EPA standard that's common in North America, which is called a cap and cover process. So what is required, as we receive the waste streams on a daily basis, we cover it with an adequate amount of topsoil or cover. That way you reduce the oxygen content, you reduce the gas buildup, you reduce the opportunities for fires to occur on a daily basis. And you put the metals in one spot, the plastics in another area.
And with there being suspicions of arson behind many of the fires in the past, Kerr says they have a proven security detail to eliminate or avoid any prospects of such acts taking place.
This is a new day in terms of the operating protocol, in terms of the security details. They have not as many physical persons on the ground, but with patrols, fencing, drone technology. We're delivering an efficient security apparatus to avoid the prospects of arson, because arson is not only found in the Bahamas on landfills. That's everywhere in the world. Persons who have vested interests may seek to disrupt the process.
Still ahead tonight, the Inter-American Development Bank working on a $25 million credit facility to support Bahamian SMEs. That story and more when our News, the Weekend Edition, returns.